Hey y'all, quick promo before we jump into this replay analysis. You can sign up for your own replay analysis just like this for 20 bucks. Check the Discord in my video description and you can sign up through there. Hey there, Carbonyl Dota. We are going to look at a replay analysis, or look at a replay, do an analysis of this position 4 Crusader 5 Tiny. I don't really have any notes, so we're just going to take a look at what we see and give our thoughts on it. So you are with a Legion Commander. You're against a Jug Jakiro, Jug Silencer, Jug Shaman, Jug plus Int Nuker guy. Let's just go with that.
You want a bag? I can get you a bag.
Decently well-rounded item build for contesting the lane against the Int Nuker. I think this is reasonable. I don't find any issues with this. I don't know if the Fairy Fire is necessary, just because of your hero. Like, if you're against a Witch Doctor, then maybe, but... like, Witch Doctor, like, is specifically countered by Fairy Fire because, like, Maledict... Like, Fairy Fire, like, negates Maledict, basically, but, like... I don't know, you just have really high base damage already. So, I'm not sure what it's really going to give you other than the burst heal. Maybe you like to play around that, so if you do, you know, it's fine. It's not a huge issue. So you drop your sentry to block the hard camp. That's fine. I like doing that a lot right now. Sometimes people just don't unblock it. Then it's like a free lane win, and sometimes they do, and then, you know, the lane continues, and they had to buy the sentry to counter out your sentry, and they were out of position in the lane, etc., etc. So your Legion's not here, so you're just chilling. This makes sense to me.
The battle begins.
You got Tree Grab, or whatever it's called, level 1. Which I think makes sense. I think it's pretty much always good. You guys don't have like some level 1 kill threat, so just going for some sort of like harass denies should be pretty effective here. Aggressive level 1. Try to shoot Eat a Tango like right away. You ate one pretty soon. It's not a huge deal, but if you just eat one like as you're running away, it just starts the process sooner. So to avoid this specifically, it might be better to just trade on the side. Like, considering you're against, since it is Jakiro, right? You don't know until you see him, but like, you see here that it's Jakiro, and the main thing you want to prevent against like a hero like Jakiro is just that he like uses his nuke on both of you at the same time, kind of like in a dying, right? Like, just it's like if you don't get double decayed, that's pretty much the most you can do. So try and stay like a little bit further away from your Legion Commander. Otherwise, you know, there's nothing you can do if they're gonna like just use their spells and like run at you, other than what you did. So they got the deny. Use this other spell. I would probably fly out more health regen like right away. Like, given how this is going, like if he's just gonna dump all of his mana into you at level 1, like you can basically do this 3 times. Like, you can do it one more time, then he's gonna have a clarity in this case. Sometimes all of mango, right? If he's just gonna like dump all this like mana into level 1, like just buy like a salve, you know, or a second set of tangos, and like get him coming out like ASAP. Like, because if he doesn't do that, then you don't need to buy the extra reason run away. But if he does, like, you can't just like not counteract it at all, or you shouldn't. You're gonna get by all right with these tangos plus your mango regen. Okay, we tried to get the deny there. Haven't really done a whole lot, but you haven't really had the opportunity, so. Okay, so you are flying out more tangos. Legion trades decent against a Jug level 1. Okay, so you're like threatening the pull here. So in this, oh wow, it worked. I was gonna say, in this scenario, like if he's standing there like obviously going to stop you, I usually just don't even try, and I'll just like trade with him and make him stay here, right? And if he walks away, then you could do it. But, you know, you tried it, even though he was standing there, and it worked anyways, so you know what? What do I know? Good for you. I wouldn't play this passively against this Jakiro, right? Like, you're flying out more tangos, which is good. If you weren't, then what you're doing makes sense. But you're flying out more regen, you just got full mana, which, I mean, you took True Grab 1, you're gonna have full mana. But, like, you can just hit this guy and make him use some more of his regen, like with these tree grab charges, you know? Also, like, you might be in range of, like, the lane creeps a bit, which, when you're level 1, is, like, kind of important. Like, I'm not saying, like, constantly... that's not me saying you should constantly sap your offlaner's XP. It's just, like, you hit a spike at level 2. Like Tiny, like his first couple levels are pretty important, so you don't want to just be like denying yourself XP for no reason here. Like through from the low ground, you got it, which is cool. You took a toss here. Go for some toss shenanigans. That's fine. Okay, tree revving again. Nice courier snipe. Easy game. This is just unnecessary here. You're like you don't. There's no creeps under the tower. Like you're not throwing them under the tower here, so this is just like a waste. What I see when you do this is the lane's pushing into you kind of hard. You guys just want to focus on CS, and they don't have a pull camp to use, so your LT is gonna be chilling. So you walking in here and like attempting this play, like you're just liable to feed here, and then it just makes your lane harder. Like there's no great benefit to what you're doing right now. Like they have the creep advantage, their trades are going to be more effective than yours. Like you're just doing this just to do it, and you're not considering the timing and like the equilibrium of the lane, and if this is a good time to do it, and it's just not. Like if the situation was reversed and like you had 5 creeps and they had 3, then like this is actually just like it's kind of good instead of it being kind of bad right now. It's just kind of bad. Like you do the same play when the creep equilibrium is in your favor, it's just like way better. You just lose all your health for like basically no reason, because like you forced that to happen. And now the lane is pushing. Okay, so you're rotating mid, it looks like. It's like a shaman mid. It's pretty based. Grabbing the bounty, this is fine. Are we flying out? Are we fixing our resources problem? Yeah, this is like reasonable. We haven't used our mangoes yet. We're kind of chilling in the mana department. Coming like way up here. Okay. Hitting the Jakiro. That was a decent toss, because you tossed this guy into 5 creeps that were all going to attack him. So that like made sense. Even though it was like very simple, like it was just an efficient use of your resources. Okay, so your Legion's manning up to the jug a bit. The lane's looking good. Giving your tangos to your LC, very nice. Oh, we could have taken that last hit. Kind of missed out. It's okay. Nice toss shenanigans. Very cool. Nice shot. And that was just like obviously way better, because you had 4 creeps, they had 2. They were not about to be aggressive on you. Granted, if you'd done that like 2 seconds later, it would have been weird, because then you would have been walking through like 4 creeps. But that worked out great. So that's just timing of that same move was like way better. You didn't lose any HP for it. Even if you hadn't gotten the kill, like you didn't like lose any HP for it. So nice play. Going for the pull. It's like a decent attempt. This Shakiro's like basically gonna stop you. Oh wow, that's funny. The dual breath like triggered. It's pretty high level. I'll give you credit that you did that intentionally, even though you probably didn't. So nice job, dude. So they unblocked the small camp pull. We've got the 6-minute rune coming up, which is like the next thing I'm like concerned about for you. Let's give it like, if nothing else is like happening and your jug's like, or sorry, your LC, your core is like doing all right, then that's like what I'm like kind of concerned about. So like if I'm just thinking about it, like so like my LC with the right click build, he's pretty tanky. He's got good resources, and the lane's like kind of pushing in, but he's not like under clear threat right now. So like to me, this is like kind of, and they might have even pulled here is what might have happened. But like your LC's not about to die for this. Okay, you tried to deward. When you're dewarding, don't put it right in the center. It's like way too obvious. Like for that scenario exactly. Like if you want to keep it blocked, like it's better to put it in this little spot right here, so that he can't immediately see it, and that you're probably gonna like, you'll get the deward on his sentry that unblocked anyways. I was gonna say that actually, and I just forgot. But like you put your very first sentry like right in the middle. Just put it in a corner, because like a lot of times, like if he just puts his sentry, if he's lazy with the sentry and he just put his first sentry like here, and like you would put it in this bottom corner, then and like he doesn't see it. Like if you put it in the middle, you're just never gonna make them like screw up if they don't do it perfect, right? So just don't put it right in the middle. It's just like usually like this corner or this corner are the best. And it does not look like you're gonna go get the 6-minute rune, which I'm a little disappointed to see. Easy rune rotation here for you actually, if you had just been like thinking about it. So really try and pay attention to that 6-minute rune timing. Okay, you're coming now, but it's like, this is like too late. Like this shaman's like, honestly, because it's Crusader, it's like not really too late, because sometimes, like a lot of times Crusader mids aren't going to be there right away, but like realistically you're too late. So at least you did come, at least you're like somewhat thinking about it. Okay, you don't need to run over here. Like the Viper is zoning the shaman, like you're not catching the shaman. The Viper will turn around and get this rune. You don't need the rune, whatever it is, like you don't need it. It's like I don't see why you're running all the way over here. It's like really weird to me. You're like using your mana. What's going on here? This doesn't make any sense. You like, if you wanted to like farm here, then just come back and farm like this. Like farm all of this at once and make sure you're getting the XP. You're not even getting the XP for these creeps that are dying right now. Like if you wanted to like sit here while the Viper's doing that and farm, just like walk back over to the lane. I think you like didn't realize this was happening. We were like missing 2 free creeps of golden XP. I don't really like the avalanche uses either. This is just gonna like set you up to have no mana when you go back to the lane, which like doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, you're kind of like, at this point you didn't have to like steal these creeps from Viper, and now you kind of are. Okay, now you're not. This is weird. Okay, now you are. This is so weird. You're just like making this take way too long. Okay, you flew out more mana. That's good, at least. Yeah, that was really weird. You made that take a long time for like no reason. Like if you wanted to do that, right, you just like drag those 3 melees to the mid, like shove it out or whatever. If the Viper's still not back, then like just defensive aggro their creeps like under your tower so that the tower kills them fast, so you can like get the creeps, get the XP, which is what you want, and then like leave and go back to your lane. Because you know, this is like a 6-minute rotation that took like 1 minute and 15 seconds and just didn't need to. You know, it just didn't need to. Like bad things could have happened to your LC. Like usually when you leave and they're in a decent spot, which he kind of was, it wasn't the best ever, but he was in a good spot, right? And he didn't feed while we were gone. But like that period of them being decently okay, like fine without you, is like kind of like 45-ish seconds. So like if you're, whatever you're doing takes like way longer than that, at some point it's like kind of your fault if you're not back by then. Okay, so you see the jug that's low. Oh, we're not going to pick up a tree. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, that was a decent attempt, honestly. Okay, so the jug's low. Looks like you ping the tower. You want to push? Looks like you want to push. I guess it's fine. Oh, rip. You didn't get the flag bearer. Okay, so you're going for the 8-minute rune. We're just... So you have the runes in mind. That's good. You're just a little slow. Okay, I kind of saw that one coming. You want your Viper to take this really bad. I mean, he's doing okay. I guess it's fine. Alright, you're protecting the rune. It's reasonable. UTP top. Hold on, let's see your pit. I just want to see what you looked at. Okay, so you watched this Tusk like diving under a tower and UTP'd. Reasonable. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like you're trying to like steal some more XP, but like this is like conceptually good. Like you do want to take the XP, especially while the core's not there. But because your Hoodwink is already here and like is already going to be getting it, my preference would have been to just be like, okay, my Hoodwink's going to get some XP. Immediately start your journey back towards the bottom side, like immediately, because like I said, like leaving your lane is not a bad thing. But there's no reason to stay further away from the lane unless, like, nobody was up here to get the XP, in which case it's good that you're doing it. Like, this is not bad, except that the Hoodwink could just be doing this, and right now your LC's kind of struggling 2v1, or 1v2, I should say, while you and your Hoodwink are both doing the same thing, which is, like, not really anything other than sapping XP. You get what I mean? Like, you're doing something that he was already, like, doing for no reason, and your LC does end up dying, and the jug's, like, really low. So if you can imagine if you just, like, walked back across the map, and your Viper died too. Maybe you could have like had impact on like whatever happened mid. You just kind of like sat yourself top while Hoodwink was already there for no reason. So I want your priority to be like, I did my play top, I helped, and unless there's literally nobody else there to take that farm and XP, I need you to like walk back and towards the other 2 lanes and like prioritize those and make sure you're still having your presence there. Like, you didn't have a TP for, like, bottom right, but if you're, like, walking across the map, maybe you're here by the time this Viper thing happens, or maybe nothing's happening and you continue walking bottom, and maybe you're bottom by the time your LC needs you or something. We just didn't even give ourselves that opportunity.
Dire's bottom tower
What are we doing?
is under attack.
Hanging out mid. Get some XP. What is happening? Oh, we're on Viper's player perspective. That's why. Sorry, I was confused. I was like, what are you looking at?
Dire's bottom tower
Okay,
is
so you get a
under
ward
attack.
down here. And now that Viper's not here, this is like fine. Like you sitting mid taking the XP and gold while Viper's not here, totally reasonable. I'm doing the phase boots, which I think is okay, honestly. I don't hate the phase boots. It's kind of a weird avalanche. Okay, I guess you wanted to get the rune. You are playing for the rune timings. You're a little slow on the 6 and 8, but like you're playing for them consistently, which I really like to see. So nice job on that.
Radiant's bottom
It's a
tower
decent
is
ward
under
too that I
attack.
believe you placed. Scouting the jug. Yeah, unfortunately you don't have the mana. Yeah, that's why that like random avalanche mid was like not that great, because like it just wasn't necessary. Your hero's mana pool is so crappy that like you really can't afford to casually waste spells on your hero. Like it's just not worth it at all. Are we even flying out mana? Please tell me we are. Okay, we're flying out 2 clarities, which is like good. And the tome, which is okay because your hoodwink was like kind of like a level above you, so the tome makes sense. Big push happening mid. Yeah, and I would want you to be able to participate in this. Like this is like not ideal for you guys. This is like a very strong pressure from them, and I would want you to be capable of like preventing this from happening, or at least like be capable of participating in preventing this from happening to the fullest extent, which means being able to cast both your spells and like show up. So another reason I don't like that avalanche mid, and your LC is doing this. You can do this fine without you. Given that like they're showing 4 of their other heroes on the map, like they're not about to like stop him from doing this, and he doesn't need you to do this. He's fine doing this on his own, and he would be happy to like maybe TP mid and participate in a play even if you're there to start it and set it up with your Viper. So this is kind of like just bad map like positioning from you. Like you're not understanding like what your what the best use of your time is here. So like the position 4, this is like I think this is the hardest role in the game to like do this correctly. Like it's just less obvious. But what I see is Shaman Spike mid with a catapult. They appear to be wanting to push our tower, and nothing appears to be happening bottom, like that our LC can't like handle. So I would be walking mid here, because I do not want them to take my mid tower right now. This is like the main thing that I do not want them to do. So like I need this mana that you're flying out, and I need you to like walk mid. Like, I need you to meet your courier here, start like chugging a clarity, and like walk up around this way. Like I don't need you to like run straight at them mid. I'm not saying you're like definitely gonna kill them all, right? But we want to like somehow be in position to defuse this. We're just not. So that should definitely be our priority. And I just want you to see that you're not needed bottom. Like you didn't need to be here doing this. This is not like helping. If you guys like absolutely thought that you couldn't defend mid at all, then I guess what you're doing is fine. But I have a hard time believing that's the case, because your LC has a TP and he's pretty strong, and you have a Viper who's got full health and mana sitting mid and he's pretty strong. And like presumably your Hoodwink could like participate as well. Yeah, your Hoodwink is going to be able to participate as well. So really you guys are poised to be able to rebuff this pressure, except that the position 4 Tiny, who offers a lot to these early engagements, is like completely unable to help positioning wise, mana wise. So yeah, this is just kind of like bad from you. Yeah, your team's trying to defend this, and the problem with this is that you're not here. Because if you're here and then LC TP's in, you guys just crush this play. Like you guys crush this play. I just hope you can see that. Like you plus these 2 heroes and LC TPing in if he needs to, like crushes this play. Versus you're just like not doing anything right now. And you're literally, this is just like not a good use of your time. And they get your mid tower and your mid Viper. So like, you know, you guys get a hero, but they get your tower. Now you TP mid. Again, unnecessary, because your Hoodwink was already here mid. And this just burns your TP. Like, it's not that it's like you can't take this gold or XP or whatever, but like you wasted the 100 gold on the TP, and you're wasting mana, which you're going to have to replenish using clarities that cost gold, and you just didn't need to. Like this, like your Hoodwink was going to like be in XP range or whatever. and this is gonna make your next couple minutes awkward because now you have no mana again. You don't have a TP again, and you're the position 4. You know, it's like you're not gonna be able to respond to anything the opponent's doing with the way you're playing. Like as the position 4, one of your main priorities just needs to be to like be ready to respond to what the opponent's doing if you're not the one making the plays yourself. And you're kind of just using your resources in a way that like makes you unable to respond. You're pushing mid here, which is like reasonable. Looks like your team's trying to rebuff them in your jungle though. We're not really paying attention, like your camera is not on what's happening here. You briefly look. Deciding not to go. I mean, it looks like your team cleaned them up, but like you didn't really look to like ensure that you weren't needed. You're kind of like playing for yourself right now, which I don't really love. Like yeah, you have your face, but you're like kind of strong to me, and you're just like not even looking to play with your team. Like, what's the point? The fluffy ad I think is weird. I think at this point you really want to be rushing your blink dagger as a position 4 tiny. So like right now, given your team's map distribution, I think what you're doing is fine. Like sitting mid right now at this second, given like everything that's happened, makes sense. But like I don't think it made sense earlier, and I think you used a lot of your mana for no reason. And then I don't think you were like you should have been more heavily paying attention to what was happening here. I mean, maybe you were, you weren't needed there? I'm not really sure. To me, I couldn't really tell if I was needed there or not, because I really wasn't seeing your perspective go there long enough. You're getting a ward down. I haven't seen you buy a smoke yet, which I think is weird. Like, as position 4, like, I just think you want to be setting up plays with smokes. Like, you smoking this LC. Like, yeah, he smoked himself, which is great, but they're not, your position 3s aren't always going to do that. I see it as the position 4's job to buy the smokes. When I play pubs, I buy smokes as position 4 and position 5 when I play 5, because a lot of times my 4s don't buy smokes, which I think is weird. But I would tell you, if you're playing position 4, you should be buying them. No reason not to. So you're like stacking. Yeah, your like LC is like smoked going for a play, dude, and then you're just like not with it. You're like really prioritizing yourself right now, which doesn't make sense to me. Like you've been part of 2 kills in 14 minutes as a position 4 tiny, which is like weird. Like this is like too passive. Like this sort of gameplay like probably works in like Herald or Guardian, but like you're a Crusader 5 trying to push Archon. Like you can't kind of be like this AFK as the position 4. Like you're kind of getting lucky that your team's like owning them without you. Honestly, I think you're kind of just straight up getting lucky here. Like your team could be feeding right now, and I think it would kind of be your fault. And you're just kind of lucky that they're not. You're not even looking at what's happening, dude. There's a fight happening right next to you. You're not even looking at it. What are you doing? What do you care about? I don't... This is like very weird position 4 gameplay. You're playing like an AFK pause 3 who's buying wards, but then also just spending all this time farming. It's kind of weird. Like earlier on with like the lane and the runes, I thought you were doing alright. But yeah, this next phase is just weird. Like, why do you have no mana right now? Why are you using all your mana on like creeps and then having no mana? Like, what if a fight happens? Like, you can't just like use all your mana up on nothing and not be ready to participate. Like, the most important thing you can do for your team is be ready to participate if a fight happens, which means having mana. You're just like not valuing your mana pool as like an important resource that you need to like have at all times. I mean, you're literally contributing nothing here. You're a body's getting some XP. This is very weird gameplay, my friend. You guys get the tower. Buy some more clarities. Use your clarity. Oh, did somebody like... How did you get all this mana? Did somebody mana boots you? I think must have mana boots you or something. Just fine. Or did you buy mangoes? Where'd you get all this mana from? Oh, you bought 3 mangoes. Yeah, I mean, why are you buying 3 mangoes, dude? Just stop using your mana to farm and buy like 1 or 2 clarities. You know, that's just 3 mangoes is like a lot of gold. Like off like this blink dagger that you want to get, presumably. I already commented on the fluffy hat. I wouldn't have really prioritized that. You're participating so seldomly in stuff going on. Like, to me, it's not apparent that you like need this fluffy hat to like survive engagements. The only way to know if you would need this fluffy hat is to actually be at engagements. So, like, if you're not going to be at engagements anyways, why bother with a fluffy hat? You know what I mean? Okay, you were at least at this one. Okay, you got your spells off. It's cool, it's cool. At this point, you guys are kind of just snowballing when your Naga's free farming. Still have not seen you buy a smoke yet. Not a fan. Buy a smoke, dude. Just have them. Just have them. There'll be opportunities that'll come up that you'll be like, oh man, I wish I had a smoke here, and you're just not gonna have one. Just have it with you. I'm not saying right now you guys need a smoke. I'm just like, why don't you have a smoke? This is like a good move from you guys, like across the map to like cut out to jump whoever's here. So this is like good. Nice job. Running around with our team, we're participating now, which is great. And we have the mana to do it, which is great. Just think it was weird that it wasn't happening for like a solid like 5 minutes earlier. Slow this down a little bit. So we're dewarding. They just put this up. We're dewarding. Okay, we kind of get gone on. We tried to throw out our avalanche. Got the spin off. Luckily, we live anyways. You TP mid here. I guess you see a big creep wave. Okay. You go base. You just buy your blink? Just got your blink. I would definitely go base here. Like, pick up your blink, but like just go base real quick and refill. Is that what you're doing? Okay, that's what you're doing. That's good. Okay, actually a reasonable TP mid, honestly. I kind of like that TP mid instead of going straight base. Team is like thoroughly owning at this point. Yeah, unfortunately, I wouldn't use my blink like this. When I'm like when you use it to blink closer to your fountain, that's fine. Like when you're walking out on the map like this, that first blink you did was fine, but then you blink again here. Yeah, don't blink like this. Like you're too close to where the action's gonna be happening, to where like you might want to use your blink aggressively. So just don't put your blink on cooldown like this. It's very important. It's very important actually. It's actually very important that you don't put your blink on cooldown when you're like around where action may be happening. Like if you had your blink off cooldown right now, like you're literally just jumping and killing. This is like a double kill for your team. And you just don't have it, which is just like, you know, kind of cringe. Like we could add it. So yeah, be very careful about like putting your blink on cooldown when you're like close to the action or close to where the action could happen. You definitely don't really want to be blinking around the map a lot. You only want to be blinking if you're like absolutely sure nothing is going to happen in the next 15 seconds. This is not your job to like hit these creeps here. Your Viper's like pretty low. Their Jug's respawning. Your Hoodwink's also like giga low. So like let's, you know, try to be aware of like what your team's situation is. And like be like you're the jump hero for your team. So like if you're just showing sitting here, like they know they can't get jumped by you. And also your team, you're posturing aggressively when your team is not capable of backing you up. So this is just like over aggressive from you. You get punished for it. Like we could have just backed off a bit, chilled, reset. Like let our teammates reset. Like you didn't really need to reset, but like let your teammates reset. Maybe you could have made a play with this LC who is still strong, gone top or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, just don't be the one like sitting mid clearing it when your teammates are like not going to like be helping you. Like be able to help you, right? They're all like really low. Okay, so we're walking mid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Team shooting out. Yeah, again, just don't blink like this. Like around the mid lane, right? Something could easily happen in the next 15 seconds around the mid lane. Just don't put your blink on cooldown like this. Like the blink from your fountain out to like here is fine. Like I don't care. It's good. It's efficient. But like once you're like here and stuff you're close enough to where stuff's happening, like you're just griefing yourself. And it's like it's like you might think it's not a big deal, but like it's kind of a big deal. Like your hero without his blink off cooldown is just you're just like putting yourself in a terrible spot for no reason. Like it's so important in order to properly execute like what your team wants to do in terms of like fighting them that you have your blink off cooldown and like ready to like jump if you see somebody. And if you just don't, then like you're just kind of griefing your team by like not being ready. Okay, so you're kind of clearing mid, which is like okay. It's not ideal that you're doing it, but like your team's not, so it's like whatever. It's like a pretty dangerous D ward, my friend. Okay, I like the blink away there. Maybe just positioning wise, I would have been trying to stand like once you know this ward is here, like I would like come and stand like over here and like hit it, especially because on the mini map we see them all, like they're very close to where you're standing. Nice blink out though, nice blink out. Okay, so they go on your LC, they global. I think we're just way ahead and we wipe them. Our Naga's even here, which is nice. Oh, okay. Question mark? Wow, Serpent Ward's too strong. Okay, alright, but we wipe them up anyways. Realistically, okay, so you're very far ahead. I'm probably going to wrap the video up soon. This wasn't a super long replay, but I think there's a couple solid things for you to work on. But let's just talk about this final moment real quick. Their team's dead. You've got a lot of heroes dead. So you've got some options here. Like you're low, but you don't have to go to base right now because they're all dead, right? They're not going to kill you. So you can kind of do whatever you want. So what should you do? To me, the only thing that matters here is like kind of getting bot lane pushed in. You have the outpost, great. You're not hitting this tower. You're not hitting this tower. Top lane's already pushed in, which is great. Mid lane is pushing in. We cleared the mid wave here, which is great. If like you TP bottom right now and like cleared this wave, and then like you even have a salve, which is nice, and then like you just like clear this next wave, and then your team respawns, and you like connect with your team and smoke, and like, or you don't even need to smoke. You basically just need to go to Roshan, right? Like Roshan is the only thing that matters. Nobody's done it yet. You guys are way up. You should just take it. And the best way to set up taking it and not make it super obvious is to get this pushed in, or not to not make it super obvious, but like to, well, yeah, actually it's to not make it super obvious, because if nobody addresses this and your team all respawns and this is happening and nobody comes here for the next 20 seconds in your team, the enemy's like, okay, well, nobody on their team is bottom, so they must be doing something else, so they're probably doing Roshan. That's what they should think anyways. So like if you come push this out and you shove out the next wave and then you walk this way, your creep wave is going to be like here, and then the mid creep wave will be pushed in, hopefully, by somebody, like the next wave that's going to spawn. And then they won't really know what you're doing. You could be anywhere. Like, sure, you should probably be at Roshan anyways, but like they just won't know. Or like maybe somebody on their team will walk bottom and the rest of them will try and contest Roshan and you take a 4v5 or something. So priority here would be to get bottom lane pushed out. Hanging around here, not a thing. You're low. No more future. You don't need any more kills here. Like that's not going to progress the game for your team. Like killing one more hero in this area, not going to progress the game for your team. Taking Roshan is how you're going to progress the game for your team. It's setting up to take Roshan specifically as a support is how you are going to progress the game for your team. Continuing to fight them in and around the mid tier 2 is you guys won't progress the game that way. Because eventually they'll just win a fight. Like somebody will mess up, you get picked off, and then they'll just like crawl back into the game. They'll sort of crawl back into the game that way. Hypothetically. Their jug just kind of like walks down mid with probably really bad information and feeds. I would just be calling for my team to Roshan here. Like, team, let's go Roshan. Kind of like looking around for like enemies. Again, you put your blink on cooldown for like no reason here. Like you're, well, okay, you're blinking to look for the shaman, I guess. Never mind. That was a reasonable use of your blink dagger. This Tusk is ratting you. You're taking this farm, but it's like, why? Why are you farming this wave? Your Naga is right behind you with 4 illusions, and you're farming the creep wave right in front of her? Like, your team is over here. You should probably be with them. The Tusk is over here. You could be setting up on him. You could be just putting a ward down for Roshan, and you're just, like, hitting a creep wave. this gives the enemy information on where the enemy tiny is. So like if they wanted to 4v3 your team here, they could. If this Tusk TP'd in, they went on. Like you're just in a bad positioning, and you're showing the enemy that you're in a bad positioning, and you're taking farm from your position 1. Why? Why are we doing this? And this is even a safe spot for you. Maybe they see your 3 teammates mid, and they're like, just kill this tiny. It's just like doesn't make any sense. It's like there's like really weird times to choose to like go clear a creep wave, and like it doesn't matter because you guys were up by so much, but like, you know, I'm commenting on it because that's what I'm seeing. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter at all because you guys are 16k ahead, but like, right? If we don't want to throw, especially like they could have just picked you off there. Like if they just pick you off, and then like their game's a little bit easier, even though they're still way behind. So I'll wrap it up here. Saw some decent rotations early. Your laning was all right. You know, when you do rotate away, prioritize coming back to your lane faster. Both at like that time where you TP top, and then like you didn't come straight back because the Hoodwink was there. He was like taking the XP. And even that time mid where you like got the rune, and then you were like killing these creeps here, and then you like drag them over here, and then we're killing them here. That was like very weird. Just like drag it all together, clear it fast, or like creep defensive aggro into your tower, clear it fast, and like run back to your lane. Like make sure those things are fast. And then just have smokes earlier. Like you didn't buy your first smoke until like, I don't know if it'll show me here when you bought a smoke. I think it shows smokes here, so I don't know, but it was not early. Like I want to see you buying smokes. Like your first smoke is position 4. You should be buying and having at least like around or before like 10 minutes. Even if you don't use it right away, like you should be buying it and be like ready to use it, considering if you should be smoking. You just didn't buy your first smoke until like, I don't know, like 20 minutes into the game, which is like weird. So those are my thoughts, man. Let me know if you have questions. You didn't play bad or anything, but you made some really weird decisions, and if you want to have higher impact on your games, I hope you really take into account the things I talked about. And good luck moving forward. Thanks for signing up, dude. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the video description. You can join my Discord there, and there's all the information there on how to sign up.